Did you know the rate of ADHD among alcoholics is 5 to 10 times higher than among normies? And that among alcoholics, the rate of ADHD is about 25%, although it seems even higher because every time I mention it to my sober friends, they all seem to identify with it in some way or another. You know, when I read, someone said ADHD is feeling like your mind is a computer with 8 windows and 164 tabs open at all times. And that is true, but, that's just one element I'm learning of it. We're distracted. I've got a super political friend who doesn't believe in any mental disorders. And, he just thinks I'm lazy or lack of work ethic. And now that I'm on Adderall, it's helping me actually understand this a lot more. Because now I get so hyper-focused on doing work, I can't be pulled away from my computer. I did a video on that recently. Hours. I don't even eat because I want to continue working. And I always knew I had a great work ethic in me in the past, that I knew it still resided inside of me. So, I actually thought to Google the feeling now. I thought, prior to this, my brain just didn't want to do any real work. Nothing. Even house cleaning, which I love to do. And certainly at night especially, my brain would just not allow me to do any kind of work. And now, especially with the help of Adderall, I'm up till 2, 3, 4 a.m., as you often hear about. So, what AI said was that there's a thing called ADHD paralysis, where your brain struggles to organize thoughts and initiate actions, particularly with tasks that don't normally engage attention. Reminded me of the term paralysis analysis, which relates to perfectionism. So I deal with that as well. So good luck to me. And, it says that feeling of not wanting to do real work comes from things like low dopamine levels. ADHD brains are typically lower in dopamine, which is crucial for motivation and pleasure. That makes it harder to find tasks engaging or rewarding, leading to procrastination. You also have difficulty with executive functions, which I talk about video number 48. Check it out. And those are things like planning, organization, sustained attention. And that makes it challenging to break down complex tasks or manage time effectively. Sound familiar? One guy said, what offends people is the assumption we aren't trying. It's infantilizing. Cannot say that word, but you get it. And it's true. And again, I mentioned that. I had another buddy years ago question my work ethic. And now I understand why. It really helped that I saw a few memes that were so spot on about ADHD. One said, having so many tasks, I have trouble getting started or finishing anything. I feel so overwhelmed by it that I do nothing. And the meme showed Homer behind the controls at his power plant, Homer Simpson. Another article I read said, have you seen the meme that talks about having so much to do, but instead you go home and take a nap? That's executive dysfunction, which goes hand in hand with this. Also relates to alcoholism, I've talked about, of doing brain damage to our prefrontal cortex, which is where executive function lies. Another meme I saw said, it's crazy that ADHD can have you avoiding things that you want to do. I don't only avoid things I don't care about or dislike, I avoid things I get joy from or even need. Executive dysfunction doesn't discriminate. Boom. I talked about just one example top of my head is cleaning. I love to clean. Can't even do it often. And a final meme said, hey you guys, my husband figured out the solution to my ADHD getting in the way of things. I just need to make a schedule and stick to it. Problem solved. Loved that. And it reminded me how my mother, rightfully so, and coach, therapist, all talk about setting goals. Can't you just set some simple daily goals? Nope, can't do it. Or if I do it, might be for 1 or 2 days. I'll never even look at them and can't continue. I, about a month ago, set a nightly alarm to remind me to set goals that night. I said, maybe the problem is I can't do it in the morning because I wake up overwhelmed. I dismiss that alarm every night. But that is a huge part of this, just absolutely feeling overwhelmed at all times. And that does lead to, essentially, just like I talk about with alcoholism, your midbrain taking over, your survival instincts. You just want to survive the day, and it overpowers the prefrontal cortex, and that leads to all kinds of procrastination. So I've read a guy on Reddit talking about, if there's something I know I should be doing, sometimes there's this imaginary wall that I need to climb over in order to start doing it, and the wall is infinitely high. I cannot manufacture interest and motivation to do something if the wall is there. It doesn't matter the consequences, unless threatening consequences is enough to produce urgency to get some dopamine flowing. It's the only way he can be productive. So I hope that helps. I know there's got to be a million videos and explanations about how ADHD works, but I have a feeling putting those quotes all together will prove to be amongst the best. Definitely helped me out a lot. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about solutions, including Adderall, and how it works and how it actually does make you, since you want to do work and regain your work ethic. It's so funny, just hitting me. It's just like alcoholism, where we think there's something wrong with us. And I almost started to believe my ignorant friends. What happened to my work ethic? I guess I just lost it. Something's wrong with me. But no, because now I love it. It's actually 1:15 a.m. right now, and I will probably be up till at least 3 a.m. doing research and recording videos. And it's not, don't get this impression, this Adderall makes you that crazy. You know what it did my first night for sure, first week probably, but it's not what it is now. Other than it's kicking in my work ethic, and I love to work. So welcome back to myself, just like refining ourselves in sobriety, meeting ourselves, re-meeting, or often meeting ourselves for the first time. Who am I? So I said that in recovery, and I'm saying that now with this. All right, that'll do it. Remember, stronger, sober. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks.